Greetings from the northwest of England. I'm here in the city of Preston, a city which for a few years I called my home. So join me as we walk through this city in the northwest on this very chilly November day, finding some things out and having a look at a bit of archive footage back in the days when I used to live in this fine city. So this is the delightful Avenham Park, and underneath that bridge you have Miller Park, two Victorian era parks here in Preston on the banks of the River Ribble. It's obviously a little bit quiet today, given that it is a chilly day today, but also a nice little feature of these parks here is the lovely Japanese gardens, which we'll have a little bit of a walk through. Not quite so ornate in the late autumn, this lovely little Japanese park, but it does certainly have a certain charm and peace about the place, even if my hands are absolutely freezing whilst I record this. You see behind me as well a small war memorial here with some Victoria era buildings just behind it. This is Miller Park, with a fountain that was under repair back in the days when I used to live here, but it's working well nowadays, overlooked by this old hotel which has fallen into disrepair. Miller Park is next door to Avenham Park and also next door to the West Coast Main Line. You can just see the overhead power lines for the train line there, highlighting an absolutely excellent rail link that the city of Preston has on the West Coast Main Line. Now this is the delightful little Winkley Square, made to mirror something that you might find in London. You've got a nice little park situated right in the middle of an older sort of style housing estate. It's a lovely place, very, very peaceful here. And look at the beautiful autumnal colours of the leaves on the floor. So this is Fishergate, Preston's sort of main high street, featuring all the shops that you'd sort of expect in the UK. But it is, at this point in time, really, really busy on this Saturday morning. This is St George's Church here in Preston, and a little bit of a interesting history about the town. Preston derives from the word priest town, where the Christian faith played a massive part in the development of this city. Now, St George's Church, when I used to live up here, was the church I worshipped at, and I was privileged to play the organ here many times. A beautiful Father Willis organ. Also, the mission of this church, they also have set up recently George's Kitchen, which provides meals, hot meals, on a Saturday evening for those in the town who might require it. When I left the city in 2023, Friargate, this street in front of me, which is now a pedestrianised zone, was pretty much entirely a construction site, laying the foundations for this, what we're walking on today. But still, it doesn't stop the many, many businesses and restaurants, a little more independent than the ones on Fishergate, from operating. And this is where I'm going to be spending most of my day today. So, hi Nick.
Hello.
I spent most of my day here in Studio 81 on Friargate, getting my leg done by Nick, who you met a few moments ago. I first met Nick 5 years ago in 2020, when he was still working here on Friargate, and he's been doing my tattoos ever since. So after painfully being stabbed in the leg for a few hours, receiving the latest tattoo on my body, I always come back to Preston for these. I find myself here on University Square, which when I moved to the city of Preston 5 years ago in 2020 was a massive construction site. They were building this behind me, which is the University of Lancashire, as now formerly University of Central Lancashire, their student centre. Also, a new-ish building was the engineering centre, £30 million innovation to help the engineering department of the university here in Preston. This really is kind of the university area of Preston. You can kind of just see in the distance there the green and white building that's often referred to as the Lego building, next to this pub here, Ships and Giggles. I used to go in here a fair bit, but interesting fact about there, Ekin Sue, who I'm reliably informed won Love Island some years ago, she used to work there. A little before my time, so I never did meet her, but yeah, she used to work in Ships and Giggles, or formerly the Ship Inn here in Preston. So these here are the Maudland and JB Firth laboratories, where I studied and worked here in this city. It was MB 235 on the second floor of this sort of older building on the left hand side that I did much of my research, and on this building, JB Firth, the first time I set foot in one of these labs, when I used to live just in that little hall there that's right ahead of me. You can also see this massive spire, which is the tallest parish church spire in England, the spire of the Shrine Church of St Walburg's, ran by the Institute of Christ the King Sovereign Priest, and the rector, Canon Gernal Christopholi, a good friend of mine, a really top guy, preserving the traditional Latin rite in the Catholic Church. These guys celebrate the Mass in Latin. It is a sung Mass every Sunday. On the corner of University Square there is also the Adelphi pub, which got a very good deal out of this regeneration of this area, going from a pretty horrid looking building to this blue facade that you see today. Behind me is the Wallace and Gromit statue here in the Market Hall in Preston. Now, Nick Park, the creator of the famous cartoon, is a Prestonian. Also around me is this new complex. This was a construction site when I was living here some years ago, and now a fully fledged new complex for entertainment and food. Turning a little more, we can see the Market Tavern, which we will definitely go and investigate in a few moments' time. The pub of which I would DJ on a Friday night for around a year, a few years ago. It was a fantastic time. And as well, Switch nightclub, former nightclub, now closed. Inside the Market Tavern, I always got a warm welcome here. It's the only place that I've been to that was a pub where I've always felt welcome. It's great to come in here and great to see some old faces and to say hello and what have you. Come and visit the Market Tavern in Preston. It's a great place, honestly.
Robert.
Lucy, as I promised you, here's some catalytic cycles which is used to convert an alkyl halide to basically just a longer alkyl chain. So you come in and you oxidatively add this to your metal, because that bond will pick up the X, and that, as there are plenty of electrons on the metal, will take up the R to form this. Then you've got a transmetallation step where your R will swap with your X. So the R in this bond here will go that way, and this will go that way, which will replace the R prime with the X, leaving this. Then it can reductively eliminate, taking up the R to R prime, forming the bond, and kicking that off to give us R prime, an alkylated form of this alkyl halide we started with. So as I walk down a much quieter Fishergate here on Saturday evening in Preston, I'm just reminded of a few things. Preston, for me, a real city of firsts. I did my first driving theory test here, which I passed, first time. I did my first driving test here, which I passed, first time. I got my first degree here, my first tattoo here, my first piercing here. Preston, of course, the famous football club Preston North End, one of the first members of the Football League, one of the founding 12, the first Invincibles. They did that unbeaten season 100 years before Arsenal managed it. And some of the great things about here, I've really felt a great sense of welcome, even after 2.5 years since I left this city. There were friends that I've not seen for so long who even asked how my sister's doing, and they'd met my sister once, and they asked, how's she doing? It's just a wonderful sense of community and a wonderful sense of northern pride here. I have had such a warm welcome being back in the city that I once called home, and I would absolutely recommend that you come and visit lovely Preston in lovely Lancashire. As always, I'll see you soon.